Good morning, 8 James. I'm away at a funeral for a long-time friend of mine this morning, all day in fact. So this will cover, what I'm doing here will cover both periods 1 and period 3 this morning. Okay, at the moment we're on linear graphs, so we can go to linear graphs. We have our work outline. Now in class we've covered both 9a and 9b, tables and graphs, and the next thing we'll have a look at when I get back will be the x and y intercepts. So this morning you're either working your way through the work outline if you're not up to 9e. Notice we go from 9b to 9e. If you're not up to 9e, you can work your way through and bring yourself up to date on those. Now on the forces unit page, these links are from the old textbook, last year's textbook, but they are still valid because they're teaching the same thing. This video there you may want to have a look at. That's there. Then the Cartesian plane. There are some examples here, another video or two, some examples of what you can plot there. So you can have a look at these this morning, go through here. Also here we've got some summary worksheets, coordinates, practice test. Now there are a couple of practice tests here. So there's a practice test here. This is a straightforward test. We've covered some of these. So you can print these off or you can do them online. Might be easier to print them off. We haven't covered everything on this test. Haven't covered quite everything, but we have covered some of it. So there's a practice test there. And there's also an analysis task from 2017, which applies it, gives you data and applies it in a 3D sense. So you can also have a look at that should you wish to. Not necessarily this morning, but you can certainly have a look at those. There's also some websites here. There's practice tests, we've done that. Websites here. That's a list of websites, and you can click to do that. You can click on these using control click. Once it does decide that it's finished its thing, there we go. These give you some activities and places to have a look at on the web, online. Don't forget also with the textbook, right, the last one that we looked at was rules and graphs, so the interactive textbook. This is MyConnect, Cambridge. You can go through here. So we're on straight line graphs. We've done number plane, we've done rules, tables and graphs. Next one we'll be having a look at is the x and y intercepts. Now we spoke a little bit about those. When x equals 0 and when y equals 0 gives you the value for your x and y intercept. Here the c value in the y equals mx plus c. The c value is also the y intercept. So you have here x equals 0, the origin point, 0, 0, and y equals 4. So in this point here, our coordinates, x coming first, of course, x equals -2, and you haven't gone up at all, so x equals 0. Now this is the straight text, and you can go and get some answers to those, and the usual things. You can work your way through this. It's a workspace, a series of questions here, and you can get yourself workspace and you can type in here anything that you want to type in there. So you can continue work on that. Walk through and a quiz, and of course you be able to watch a short video on walking through those. I think the videos are here for examples. Okay, so you can work your way through those. And of course, the scorches. And hello, we've got Prathamesh there. Well done. Well done, Prathamesh, up number 2. Perhaps I might try to get to number 1. Star of the Sea Garden Vale girl, obviously. Well done. So this morning, fellas, let's go back to where we were, linear graphs. We're catching up on our work outline. Right, now we're going to be looking at X and Y intercepts. Some people are up to chapter review. Some people are working through. I think Zach Martins is up to chapter review almost, plus these here that you can work your way through. So you're working on your work outline, working on your, you may want to have a go at a practice test, a straightforward test, or an analysis task, and then you could have a look at some other websites. And then you could have a look at the textbook for section 9E if you wanted to do that. And there's a progress quiz as well. So that's for this morning. Periods 1 and period 3. We've got more than enough work we can carry on with. Thanks, fellas. Have a great weekend. Thank you for flying Qantas, and I'll see you next week.